You're a rebel, getting into trouble. You are kinda like a fire, like a fire, like a fire. Unpredictable, so original. You are never backing down, backing down, backing down. That's what I like about you. So dangerous, I get this rush when I'm with you. I go all in to lose or win. Build things up to knock 'em down. It's the way we keep our high, moving like a hurricane. There will come a time for when we can wash away your sins, settle down, but until then, we're like a hurricane. You're so different, kind of ignorant. You don't care what people say, people say, people say. I'm going crazy for your baby. Don't know how you're making me feel this way. What can I say? That's what I like about you. So dangerous.
All right, good day, everyone, and welcome back to Mommy Guide Inc. For those who are new, I am Mommy Lala, and welcome to my weekend crafty night here at Mommy Guide Inc. Yes, it's Saturday evening for me, and probably for most of you on the other side of the globe, you are just starting your day. So for those who are early risers, thank you so much, and watching on replay, thank you, thank you. So as you saw in the thumbnail and also in the description of this video, I am creating a circular waterfall, right? So this project actually wasn't meant to be for tonight. I was planning on, just a chill, crafty night on a Saturday evening. We would be updating my journal. But then I decided that this is actually meant for the mystery craft along this month. But you will know why I decided to not push through with it, because you guys might, be so frustrated with me if I actually pushed with this, because there's a little bit of math, and we say, crafters, we don't do math live, right? Well, anyway, thank you so much again for being here. Yes, Teresa, good morning, good morning. Yes, Teresa is coming in from Center Harbor, New Hampshire. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. All right, US of A. All right, and of course, we have Lori. Good morning, Lori. Yes, oftentimes when I go live at this time, Lori is probably just, preparing for her day, and she's able to say hi. Thank you so much, Lori, for dropping by. It's been a while, because I actually have been not very consistent with going live on my usual schedules, which is every Wednesdays and Saturdays. It's just that, Feb and March has been a flurry of so many awesome events, right? So it doesn't happen all the time. It's just that up to now, until the end of the March, there's so many amazing projects and behind the scenes that I've not been able to share just yet, but I will tell you more about them as the days pass by. So without further ado, let's start crafting. All right. So have you guys heard of a waterfall? I know this concept is not new, right? So this actually project I saw from Tanu Creative. I've actually put a description or the link, to the original video in the description of this video. So if you want to check that out, give them a thumbs up, that would be super great. All right, so here we go. So first and most, this is what it is gonna be looking like, right? So there you go. So there is this lever at the bottom where, you know what a waterfall, thing looks like. It's gonna fall like one after the other like that. So if you push it like so, there you go. Right? So you'll be able to see things just fall like a waterfall into place. And you still have, places here and there for you to add your, journaling. So if this is going to be, or if this was supposed to, be part of the MCA, what do you think, friends? Will you be able to kind of work with this on an MCA? Hold on, I will just fix this one. All right. Yes, and this is my moderator daughter saying, here's a link to the original video. Thank you, Sam. Yes, right. So imagine if we did this in MCA. Okay, the thing is, you're supposed to have this. It's so cute. Like, it looks like a face, right? But this is actually, I borrowed this from my son. Okay, so this is a protractor and this is a compass. Right? And so I said, maybe the people in the community no longer have access to this. I know that the last time I used this was in high school, right? So when I had like geometry, all right? So I said, okay, maybe not. Okay, I tried to find a way how I can explain, all right, that you need to do this and that without using this. It's hard. So I just decided, might as well, let's just do it live. All right. So to start with, okay, so yes, you need a protractor. You need a compass. Okay, so not the one that tells direction, but this compass, a drawing compass. All right, of course, you need your usual stuff, adhesive, okay, a hole puncher, okay, a corner rounder if you want, okay, and cutting, okay, paper trimmer, some, okay, coordinating papers, or depending on the theme that you want to create, of course, and then a scoring tool and your paper trimmer. And ephemera packs or stamps, inks, if you want to do a little bit of, inking, stamping. So that is, when it comes to the decorating part, the, what do you call this? You're feel free to do whatever it is you want. Laurie said, I love waterfall cards but haven't made a circular. I would be okay with it for MCA, but I can see others having problems. Exactly, Laurie. So in the end, I also of course asked our dear Lynn, what do you think? She said, if you can find a way to not use those, okay. Right? Yes, because that would have been the, what do you call this, the saddest MCA, because I probably would be alone, right? So, nonetheless, we will still make it. All right, great, Laurie. So I'm so happy that you still have some of these. At any rate, this is available almost everywhere, online, in the bookstore, even in hobby places, right? All right, so let's start. To start off, you need, this is quite a big card. Okay, let me see. Let me just make it a little bit bigger so you can see. There you go. So it is quite a big card. Okay, so this is actually 8.5. Okay, so let's do this so that it's not upside down. See? So it's 8.5 and then it's a square. So it's 8.5 by 8.5. All right, and then so times 2. So it is actually 8.5 by 17, right? Because you have the panel. Now, if you want to turn this into, say, a shadow box, then an 8.5 would be fine. 8.5 and 8.5, and then you put it in a shadow box or a frame, right? So my project for tonight is going to be a birthday card for my moderator daughter because it's her birthday in a few days. right? So that's why decided this would be a great way for me to celebrate her. Although this is 16 panels all in all, but she is more than that. She is 24, an incoming 24. So, but then again, it's okay, right? So I will not do it by year, but rather just choosing some photos of her that I like. So we will go through that together, and then just, but this is not the one I'm gonna be making. So we're gonna be starting from scratch. This was supposed to be my sample for, for the MCA. All right. So once you have that, so you have an 8.5 by 17 inches. All right. So what else do you need? Okay. So let's go to the one I'm going to work with today. So I've cut that. What else do you need? Okay. So you do need one of these. Okay. So this is an 8.5. Okay. Oops. Again, opposite. This is an 8.5 by an 8.5. All right. There you go. So it would go absolutely on, okay, the inner part of the card like so. So, okay. And then you need something to go on top of it. Okay. So this one, so that it's coordinating, it is actually another similar paper, but the other side of it. And this is 8.25. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's 8. Okay, by 8. Okay, and so there you go. Okay, and then you need another, okay, paper. So it's up to you, if it depends on the theme or the style. If you only want one matted over the other, that's fine. It's just that I like this, the pattern on pattern, and then a break with a solid cardstock in between. Okay, but with a narrower 1/8 of an inch border. So this one is actually, okay, a 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. All right. And then that would be the inside of our card. Okay. So once you have that, okay, you will set it aside for a while as we work with the interactive part of this circular waterfall card. All right. So we'll start with, okay, let me just bring in, whoop, what was that? Okay, my paper trimmer. It's quite big. All right. So we are going to start with a 16 by, oh, you've used them recently too. Awesome. Happy early birthday, Sammy. Thank you, Laurie. All right. So if you can start with a 16 by 16. All right. So 16 centimeter by 16 centimeter. Now, if you want inches, it's 6 16 1/4. Okay. Sorry, it's 16 centimeters or 6 1/4. All right. So whichever you want. Okay. It's a square. So it's the same measurement. All right. So this now will be where we're going to start with our mechanism. So let's set aside first our paper trimmer. We will bring it back in a little bit. All right. So what we're going to do, so that this is not going to be moving. All right. So I will just go and grab some washi tape so as to prevent our card from moving around. Okay. Like so. If you want underneath, it's okay. If you want, if you have like a repositionable tape, that would be great. All right. So grab some ruler. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to, it's like when I was thinking of this, how I'm going to explain this, right? Okay. So can you imagine how difficult it's going to be to explain all of this if this was MCA, right? So from one edge to the opposite edge. All right. So diagonal. Okay. So you will create a mark. Okay. Pencil mark from that point to the other point. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see it. But basically, that's what we are supposed to do. All right. So after you've done with that, okay, so there will be like a middle, okay, a center. Okay, so once you have the center, you will go and grab your compass. All right, so the compass does have 2 points, right? So you have the pointed metal nib, sometimes it's plastic, and then the one that has a pencil. And this one actually is retractable. So we will just, like, what do you call that? Oh, but this one's moving already. So I think I need to replace it with a longer one. But I don't have any more. Oh my, I've run out of lead. Uh-oh. All right, so let's just use this one. I hope this one is okay. All right, so this one though, an actual pencil. So we will, although this is not as, I feel that one's better. Okay, but no worries. Okay, I hope I can see the middle. All right, so, and then, okay, so once you know where the middle is, this one, you will make a 1.5 centimeter, okay, marking. So if this is the center, okay, so you want a one, because we're gonna create a 1.5 circle, right? So that is the angle that we want. All right, so we are going to put this in the middle, like so. Okay. Oop. See, that's the thing with this. It's not okay. You know what? I need a lead. I think because this is moving, right? So it's not accurate. This one is okay. I just need to get a longer lead. Hold on. Or Sammy, do you have a lead, anak? Pencil lead. All right. Sammy. Sam. You, daughter. Okay. Oh, I know what to do. Remember, I have this pencil. Maybe we can get the lead from this pencil. All right. And then put this in here. Right. All right. We make do with what we have. Okay. I hope this is not. Oop. Okay. Okay. Now we're just going to try if it's. Is it too thick? Okay. There you go. Woohoo! It worked. Okay. So again, 1.5 centimeter. Okay, so from the okay, so you grab a ruler. All right. So once you have the ruler, okay, so you put one end of the compass onto the 0. Okay, and then you open it up to the 1 centimeter. 1.5. Okay, 1.5 centimeter, like so. All right, so that is okay. So this the angle we want, okay, or diameter rather, that we want. Okay, and then okay, so let's make it a little bit longer still, and then we will just move this around. All right. Okay, we're going to create that mark. Did it move? Okay, hold on. I think I moved it. I did. Okay, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Okay, you know what? Because I think we need a mat. Okay, that is a little bit. Okay, because this one is, what do you call that? The glass. All right, so. Okay, so let's bring this back again. Oh my gosh, imagine if this was MCA. Ah, I moved it again. This would have been like, oh my goodness. All right, there you go, 1.5. Okay, more or less. Doesn't have to be, super, super accurate. Just more or less. Okay, that. Okay, why is it now that when we're live, okay, it doesn't want to give me, okay, that accurate. Okay, okay, so there you go. All right. All right, there you go. Okay, so we will just remove the other one. All right. Okay, so more or less that's the circle. Okay, let me see if I can. I already removed, so maybe this one is not gonna give me a super accurate one, but we will try again. Okay. Okay. Anyways, all right. So the next thing that we are going to do is, okay, so now you have that, right? Don't worry about it. Doesn't have to be very, very clean because this will all be covered up later. All right. So from there, you have those diagonal lines, right? Okay, so let's get another pencil that still has a lead. Okay, there you go. Oop. I have one over there at the back. All right, there you go. Okay, so let's just make this a little darker so that you can see. All right. Okay. Okay. All right, there you go. All right. So choose which of those diagonal lines you want to work with. Now get your compass. Okay, so the reason why we want to use the compass is because we want to have easy if it's like straight, right? So you'll just draw parallel lines, but this is going to be going around. That's why we need, the protractor. So you will do like put a tick mark every 15 degrees. So we know that from 0, this is 90 degrees. Okay, so 90. Okay, and then 180. All right, so let's start with one of those lines. Okay, so you will put the edge, okay, of your protractor like so. All right, either that way or this way. So it's up to you as long as that 90 mark over there. And then this one is really on the, what do you call that? On the diagonal line. Okay, the nice thing about this protractor is that it has this, so it's even easier. So if you don't need, just look for, okay, so for example, you don't have that. So you look for, okay, 15 degrees, right? So maybe get a ruler or anything that's a straight thing, maybe a piece of a little bit of, a hard thing, okay? Okay, like a cardstock. So 15 degrees, all right? So that's 15 degrees. All right, so you can just make a mark on that one. Okay, so in this case, since I have this, I will use this. So 15, all right, and then the next would be 30, right? It's 30. 15 plus 15, that's going to be 30. And then it's going to be 45. All right, and then it's going to be 60. All right, and then you have 75. And then you'll have 90, right? And then you'll have 105. So this is probably the most difficult part if ever this was going to be MCA. For those who don't know what, I keep on mentioning MCA. MCA is Mr. Craft Along, and it's once a month thing where it's hosted on Lynn's channel, LV Handcrafted. So we all work with something based on measurements, but we don't know exactly what we are making, right? So there is somebody who is going to guide us through. So they will tell you the things that you need ahead of time. Okay, the measurement of all the things. Okay, 15, 120, 135. But you don't know exactly what you're doing. So you really have to trust the 135. Okay, 135. So 150. Okay, 150. Okay, plus 15, 165. Please tell me if my math is correct or not. Okay, 160, 50, 165. All right, and then 180. All right, and then we do the same thing on the other end. Okay, so again, align it on the diagonal and then make sure that then this one you have your 0 point and your 90. All right, and this one is okay aligned to the diagonal. All right, and then we'll start again with 15. Okay, we'll just put tick marks and then 30. All right, 30. And then 45. And then 60. All right, and then 75. And then 90. And then we move on to 105. Okay, and then 105 plus 15 is 125. Okay, and then 125. Is that correct? 105 plus 15. 105, 110. See, that's wrong. 105, 110, 120. All right, so and then plus 15, 135. Don't do math live. Okay, 35 and then 150. And then 165. Oops, it's moving. 165. And 180. All right, so now you have all of these marks around. Okay, so let me just check. Okay, everybody in the chat. Hi, hello, Jesky, and thank you so much. Everything is well. Crystal, oh my goodness, Crystal, it arrived. I haven't read it just yet because when I arrived, I started to do this, but I'm super excited to read it. Thank you so much, Crystal. Mwah, 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 mwah. Yes, thank you so much. Hello, Can Boy Dash. Thank you so much for dropping by. And of course, hello, Anna. Yes, my dear friend, Anna. Yes, 120. Correct. So we don't do math. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is grab your ruler again. Okay. So now we are going to make, lines. Okay. Connect those lines that we created using the ruler. Okay. So connect the one that is on the top, okay, or above the diagonal, and connect it with the one beneath it. Right. And then you're just basically going to do that all around. All right. And then, okay, so we will know if it has to pass through the middle. If it won't, then there's something wrong with my measurement, because it has to pass through that one. All right. So far, so good. All right. So if it doesn't, double check your measurement. So this is going to be, this was the thing that, worried me about this. If we did this for Mystery Craft Along, first, what if people don't have compasses or protractor, right? So where will they grab a protractor or a compass, at night? So it was something that, okay, something's wrong here. Let me see. Okay, let me go back to that in a little bit. Okay, I feel that I might have made a mistake over there. Okay. All right, let me see. All right, I think that one. Okay, so you would know, right? Because if it's kind of not even, right? So let me check on that one. Let me go back to my compass. I mean, my protractor. Okay, so which one am I? Oh, this one, this one. Okay, so there's the 90. All right, so 90. There you go. I pegged it at 110. It should be 105. Right? So you would see, because it won't connect. It will, but it won't pass through the middle. Therefore, that there's something wrong. Right? So it means that I wasn't able to measure it correctly. Okay, so now you see that you have like rays of lines coming in from the center towards the different sides. Okay, so the next thing now we're gonna do is grab again our compass, and this time around, okay, is to do it on the, hold on. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, I forgot the measurement. Is it six and a half? All right. So we're going to do a 6.5 cm. Okay, centimeter. So let's grab 6.5. All right. So do you see? So you put it in the 0 mark. Okay. And then the other end onto the 6.5. So now you know. Okay. Now you have to keep that angle. Okay. Find the middle point again. And then just go around. Okay. Try not to move. Okay, just go around. All right. There you go. And I'll try to do this several times. Okay. Is that enough? Is it 6.5? Okay, let me check. I don't think it's 6.5. I think it is. Hold on, friends. That's to be the middle. So I think it is. Let me just double check the measurement. I feel that's too small. So let me just double check. All right, the measurement, it should be. Okay, I think it should have been. Let me see. Let me check. Oh, 8 cm. There you go. All right. Again, erase 8 cm. See, I thought it's too small. All right. So again, not 6.5. Should be 8. Because we want that it has to be like on the edge. Okay. So 8 cm. All right. Okay. So more or less, let me check. There you go. See? Almost at the edge. All right, so let's do this. All right, so. All right. Whoop. All right, so there you go. So we will follow the 8 cm. All right, don't worry. Okay, because these are just markings that will guide us. All right, so now that we have done everything, let's do a recap. The first thing we did was to create diagonal lines, okay, by connecting one edge, opposite edges together, okay, and make a line, okay, using your pencil and ruler. Okay, after that, okay, now you know where the center is. Grab a compass, all right, and create a 1.5 centimeter, okay, circle around it using your compass, right? So 1.5 centimeter was that one, okay. Oops. Right? And then we start with the middle. Okay. And then we just went around. Okay. After that, okay. So the diagonal lines, we went around with a compass. Okay, making marks every 15 degrees. And then we did the same with the other side of the diagonal. So now we have like this pie, okay, looking like a pie. All right, so ignore that. Okay, the next thing you need to do is to create that, circle around it that basically almost, touches the edges. So that's 8 cm. All right, so the next thing you need to do is, all right, so you see you have diagonal lines, right? So you have the two. Okay, so the main diagonal line is this two, which created our center. So from one of those on the left side, so after that, okay, we will count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so the seventh piece, okay, on this one. Now what we're going to do is to cut that off up to only the inner circle. I mean, the outer, this one, the smaller circle. All right, so from this one, the number 1, so from the diagonal, all right, so from the edge, okay, cut only up to that part. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, cut again. Okay, up to that part as well. All right, and then now, okay, we are gonna cut now the small circle. Okay, inside, just go, follow the outline. All right. Like so. Now, you can put this away. We're not gonna use that anymore. So now you have something like this. All right. So now also cut out the excess. Okay. Now we go to the bigger circle. All right. And we will cut, okay, the other parts beyond that circle. So we only want this circle, the inner one. Okay. So this one I made a mistake, right? But I didn't erase it anymore. So it's okay because that will go away. So this one, if you want to use it later, you can. But normally if it's like this, okay, you can just put this aside. Let's see if we can use it for later. So now you're gonna be left with this. All right, so it's not perfect, but that's fine. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is these lines, we will use that, okay, as a guide, okay, for us to now, okay, score along those lines. All right, so if you don't have a scoring tool like this, no worries. You can just always, get maybe a self-healing mat. Okay, get some like a blunt tool. All right, and then get a ruler and use that ruler as your guide. Okay, to go through that line. Okay, and do something like that. Okay, so score means it's like you're cutting, but you're not really cutting because this is a blunt thing. So it just creates that crease. Okay, that's what we mean by score. Now, if you do have a scoring tool, then it's going to be easier. Okay, so once you've scored through that, okay, fold downwards and burnish. All right, and then move on to the next. Okay, again, score. All right, and then fold and burnish. See, it's always going down. All right, so the next one, okay, we're going to score. Okay, just follow the line. Okay, score. Okay, and then fold and burnish. Okay, and then we move on to the next. So you see, more or less, you already know what's happening, right? So it's just a matter of the very early part, the first part where we actually created this circular waterfall mechanism is the only thing that's a little bit tricky. Okay, first and foremost, you do need a compass. and a protractor. If we don't have, is there anyone in the chat who is an engineer of some sort, okay, or a mathematician who can, can we do this without using a protractor, okay, or a compass to create like this even thing, even distances between each of the folds that we're creating now? Because it's imperative that the distances between this are even so that the waterfall mechanism or the waterfall effect would really fall into place nicely. Otherwise, it's gonna be difficult. All right. And so we have also, oh yes, I got it, Crystal, and I'm so happy, excited to actually read it after. Cordelia, hello, my friend. Okay, how is everybody? I heard the weather is crazy again. I don't know if it's fake news, but is it true that New Jersey has a terrible weather today, that everybody was advised to actually, stay home? And probably other, for some weird reason, even here in the Philippines, it's supposed to be almost summer. So it's supposed to be really hot. But for some weird reason, the whole day, it's been pretty cool, right? So my daughter even wants to wear sweater. Okay, because it's unusually cool for this time of the year. Normally at this time, we are really starting to feel the onset of summer, and it's always very hot like that. But today was pretty cool. So I think even your cold weather is reaching Asia. All right, so there you go. Oopsie, made a mistake on that one. Gotta move. Okay. Oh. Where? Hold on. Okay. All right, so there's the careful when following the lines. Okay, always going down. Okay, so we're down to our last score lines. Okay, and then after that, we are going to do the next step. So now that you can see that this one, can now easily fold. Okay, so after we have scored all of these, the lines that we created, now it's easy to, fold and burnish like so. All right, so what do we have right now? So this is what we have right now. The mechanism goes like that. All right, so the next thing, so now we're going to put this aside first. So for those who have not coming in just now, we did prepare this earlier on. So this is 17 by 8.5 inch, and this is 8.5 by 8.5 square. This is 8.25 by 8.25, and this is an 8 by 8. All right, so the next thing that we'll put aside for now is the mechanism. All right, so the next step now involves you cutting 16 of these things. All right, or if you want, so instead of pattern paper, you can use photos, right? So this one is actually, if you see, it's just a map, right? So this one is, so it's square. So this is 2.25 by 2.25, and then this is 2 by 2. All right, so it's up to you if you want to do it this way, or you can if you want. So I do have some photos over here of my dear daughter, as this is going to be for her, right? So I will just see if I can look for some photos which we can use instead of, pattern paper, and then put on top of that one. All right, so we do need to cut it into a 2 by 2, and this is perfect. So this one would definitely it's like a photo picture, right? So that one, this is from her, what do you call this? Elementary moving up. Okay. We call this in the Philippines sablay. So when you graduate, instead of your toga, okay, we have like a sablay or as like a sash. All right. So this is like 2 by 2. Okay. So it doesn't have to be like every year of her life. Okay, because there are only 16 squares. So just this would have been so cute, but it's so big. Look at her. I was just like so happy going through her photos. Oh, this is so nice. I think she was what? For a while, she loved ballet, but she had her own world. She would not listen to teacher. So eventually, we did have to stop. So let's just go for this one. Right? So, and then we will do like that. Okay? So that would be her. Okay, third one. All right. So make sure that if you do work with photos, that these are just things that you have extras of, right? So let's not use that. This is her again. She's so cute. I think this was a presentation in school. Sammy was really a very, very cute, you know, child. She's super active. She's everybody's like everybody is her friend. She loves everybody. She loves going to school. She loves her classmates. So, okay. So, just going through, again, you can do this. So, instead of, pattern papers, you can showcase some of her, whoever is going to be receiving this, photos. Okay. This was her. When she was younger, she actually really loves to, to paint. She's also very, very creative. Right. So there you go. Let's go through some of her old photos. It's so nice to go down memory lane, right? Okay. And this was from kinder. Look at her. She's so cute. Oh my goodness, Sammy. You're so cute, sweetheart. Right? So, don't worry. These are extras. So, I do have the original copies of this ones. All right. So, that is so cute. Hi, Ella. Good evening, sis. Hello, Zell. How was Philippine Book Fair? We were there yesterday. All right, so let's see. Oh, this is one of her birthdays. I think she's not one, but she was like, maybe she's 4. No, maybe she's 2 or 3. I'm not sure. The staff in the office gave her like a surprise party. So let's let's not cut the balloons. Okay, there you go. Ching! All right. So how many more? Okay, let me just see. Oh, look at that smile. Look at that. She is so cute. All right, so let's get that. For a very long time, Sammy was my only child. It took 8 years before I had, Jose Luis. This is another one. She didn't have much hair. Oh, look at that. Pretty, pretty ballerina. Ah, no teeth. Sammy. Let me see. Do I want this? I already have a ballerina pose of her. Okay. So, but that one's cute also. Let me see. We still have a lot. Okay, let me just look for others where she's a little bit okay. This was with her friend. This is her with, let me see. Oh, she does love Stitch. All right. So let's, yes. She, up to now, she still has a lot of Stitch stuff, right? So every time we go to Disney or go somewhere else or go, when we travel, she would always be looking for Stitch stuff. She loves Stitch. There you go. Perfect. All right. So how about this one? Oh, look at her. Every time we would go when she was younger, she loved Disney. I think we went to all the Disneyland that I could think of. And every time we go there, I would dress her up as a princess. This time, so we would bring this clothes alongside, what she was wearing. And then we would look for the actual princess and have her picture taken with that specific princess. So this one is Snow White. All right. So let me see. Okay. Of course, let's cut me. Okay. And then let's just put her. Okay. There you go. All right. Okay. Let me see. This is her with her brother. Let me see. I'm looking for she has her eyes closed over here. Oh, this is nice with her brother. This was, I think, in Japan. All right, so let's go and grab this one. Okay. So this is a great way to not only, at the same time a card and a memory keeping kind of, thing that you can, so it doubles up as a card and as a gift, right? So let me see. That's in Japan again. That's in Baguio. Okay, trying to look for pictures where she's so cute, right? As I told you, I really need to do a lot of catch up of their younger years. Okay, so that is her. Okay. Since these are kind of tiny, so the pictures have to be cropped where mostly it's just her face. So this one's in, oh my goodness, my nanny is so thin over here. All right. Oh, wow. Yeah, did you see? Oh, look at this one. Just so cute. That's a strawberry taho. It's, what's taho in English? I forgot what taho is. Of course, wherever we go, they would always look for French fries. I think this was in California. I forgot where. I think near Disney. Yeah. Oops. I would crop her head. No, let's not crop her head, but let's crop a bit of her body instead. Yeah, with French fries, because that's one thing that she loves as well. Okay. Oh, this is her. I think this was the same photo as earlier. Oh, there was a time she loved Harry Potter so much that she even, asked me to get her the similar glasses, round ones. I said, sweetheart, it's gonna make you look geeky. She said, it's okay, I like Harry Potter. And she even had like British accent for a while during those times. Thank you so much, Zell. It's beautiful here today. Oh, great. It's 29 right now, high of 33. Finally, good weather, right, guys? All right. Good grief. Oh, it's still cold, the 29. It's really windy. Oh, it's still windy. We had 50. Oh, it's windy. All right. Oh my. Hi, Crystal from Laurie. Northern Wisconsin is getting 2 to 3 feet of snow tomorrow. We will have much less in southern Wisconsin. When will it be spring? I had a 3-hour drive home Thursday and it was blowing oh my goodness, that's scary. You know what? The very when I'm there, I normally rent a car and I would drive. I would drive my kids around and I to wherever we want to go. Um you guys drive so fast. We don't drive that fast here in the Philippines, even in our highways, right? So then I said that is why I feel that when you guys have accidents, oh, I cut B-boy. I should have just cut this part and not my son. Oh, anyways. All right. So I think that is the last photo. All right. So we have to have again. You if you don't want, you can just put pattern paper. Whoop. You can put pattern paper. You can make in sentiments. Decorate this one. It's up to you. But basically, you need 16. All right. So for faster, okay. Okay. Oops. No more. Okay. So I hope I still have. Okay. What do you call this? I still have. Okay. Oh, it's too slippery. Okay. You know how it is? Even it's too slippery, it won't. Okay. Because these are photos. So normally I don't want to use what do you call that? I don't want to use liquid glue. Okay, because sometimes it would warp the photos. Okay, so sorry, daughter. It's okay. You're beautiful. So because you're still seeing bits and pieces of her, and she's very shy, but don't worry. All right, there you go. She is just, the life of the party when she was young. There was a time when, okay, Sammy, okay, I would just tell them about how fast you speak, right? So, Sammy talks so fast. Okay, so what happened was, the teachers were asking her, Sammy, can you please talk a little bit slower so that we can understand better? And so the teacher said, okay, we will not talk to Sammy if she speaks fast. And so her classmate, okay, started not talking to her. And so at the end of the class, she went to the teacher's, area. Okay, what do you call that? There's what we call that, where all the teachers hang out. I forgot. Anyways, and then she waited for her teacher and talked to her. And then, Mom, please, teacher, can you please, okay, take back your command. Please don't tell them not to talk to me anymore. Right? He is so cute, really. She has more scrapbook albums than B-Boy. Because when I had B-Boy, or Jose Luis, I already is back at work and doing so many things. I still have a lot of backlog in terms of, putting their scrapbooks together. But Sammy has several because I was into scrapbooking big time when she was younger. So she has a ton of albums compared to, my son. But I do have their photos, both printed ones and those that I have, where is, okay. Is this still okay? Oh no. Am I running out? Where? Yeah. No more. Come on, just a few more. Okay, but let's just do 2 instead of 4. Okay, hold on. And since Sam and B-Boy, oh my goodness, it's like has a big gap. They really didn't have that point where they would be fighting. They would always be, they're always friends. Okay? taking care of each other. When I get mad, okay, the other would be there to, protect the other. It's like Sammy would come to B-Boy's rescue, okay, and probably, sometimes do something to distract me so that I will forget that I am actually trying to, or, trying to discipline. So there you go. Those are the photos. All right. So you need a 2.5 square. All right. And then you can mat either a pattern paper or photos like what I have here. All right. So just random. I'm doing random. Okay. So what we're going to do next is, okay. So if you do have questions, put them in the chat and I will answer it. Okay. Before I move on, any questions so far? Okay, Cordelia said her hands really hurt by the time she gets home. Okay. Oh, yes. I can imagine if the wind is really blowing very hard, right? So, okay. And then, plus, it's so fast when you guys drive so fast in the highways. Have I been to the Midwest? I don't think I've been to the Midwest. Normally only on the East Coast and West Coast, but never to the Midwest. Oh, and Florida. What is Florida? Well, Florida is considered what? Only those, normally East Coast, West Coast, and then that part. So I've never been to the Midwest, and I would love, love, love to go there. When do you have spring? Crystal said Cordelia. Soon, I hope we can have cold and or snow through April. And May can be cold even up to Memorial Day. The past few years have been kind to us. And I hope it continues to be so, Crystal. All right. So again, let's, okay, get our mechanism. Okay, so for this part, you do want to use your, or whatever strong liquid adhesive you have. And I'm trying to look for mine. I think that is the one that fell earlier. I heard something fell. Okay, here. Maybe this is it. Okay. So I'm using my favorite Bailey art. Okay. All right. So let's go back to this one. Okay. Remember we cut off 7 here. All right. So the one on the left. Okay. So this part, don't put any adhesive onto that just yet. Fold it backwards. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put adhesive on each one of these, strips of that looks like a pie, one at a time. All right. So we will try not to put adhesive on the near the score lines. Okay. So only in between, because you don't want those to get stuck. All right. And then the next thing you're going to do is to grab your square panels. Okay. So this one. Okay. And then you will attach this one, okay, towards this one. Okay. Towards that one. Okay. And then just go around. Okay. Hold on. Why is it too big? Ah. Okay, I know now. Okay, so my measurement earlier, friends. Okay. All right. So I think I know what happened. It's too big because I trimmed it to 2. Okay, so this should have been bigger. Okay, you know what? Let me see. Okay, I will adjust. We can always adjust. That's why I'm called the paper surgeon, a PhD in paper surgery. All right, so we can do this. All right, let's create a 2 3/4 so that we don't need to trim because it's hard to trim the circle, right? So let's go and put some mat onto this one. All right, so let me grab myself some, okay, piece of pattern paper. And let's see if we can see if it works. All right. So 2 and 3, because the point is you want this to be the same. Okay. Or even, a little bit longer than this because you want that to be hidden at the back. Like, let me see. Where is our sample? Okay. It was just here earlier. Now I cannot find it. We'll probably find it later when I have everything sorted out anyways. So 2 and Okay, 3/4. So this is too small. Let's get a bigger trimmer. All right, so here you go. 2 3/4. 2 3/4. And then 2 3/4. 1 inch. Let me see. First, let's check. There you go. There you go. Okay, so it's quite big. It's quite bigger. All right, and then we will put the photo over there. All right. So, but first, let's create the 16. Okay, so 2 3/4. Okay, by 2 3/4. So we do need 16 of these. So I think what I made wrong was I did this too small. Okay, so I think the circle wasn't wrong. The mechanism wasn't wrong. It's my measurement of the small tiles that go onto. Okay, the mechanism is the one that's wrong. All right, so 2 3/4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's use a bigger paper trimmer. So it's not gonna take me forever to finish. All right. Okay, bigger paper trimmer. Come in. All right, so 2 3/4. Okay, 2 3/4. That's why, having a paper trimmer, really helps for faster cutting. That's why I have different sizes, just so it's faster. Okay, like if I only need to cut, let's say up to 4 inches or so, I will just, bring in the smaller paper trimmer. All right, so now we just need the smaller one because, okay, oh, sorry about that. There's a piece of hair. Okay. So we will have 16 in no time at all. So it is very important, friends, that the size of these panels really has to, okay, let's go back to the mechanism. Be, okay, the same size as this one or even a little tad longer, okay? So the edge of any, since it's a square, okay, has to be flush towards the edge of that one. All right, and then it will adhere. All right, so we need 16 of these before we proceed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 more. 8. So 2 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 more. 2 3/4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, by the way, tomorrow for me and later for you guys, it's another LV handcrafted live stream with friends. So hope you can, if you are still, anyway, definitely you're still awake, right? So if you can, all right, drop by and craft along with our dear friend Lynn and our other crafty friends today. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And of course, last Saturday of the month, I will be leading this month's Mystery Craft Along. Yes, definitely not this because I already did this, right? So I am doing something else. It is also awesome. All right, so I'm not telling you what it is though. Okay, not a hint, nada. But I already finished and I'm just going to be waiting for somebody to test it out. Okay, to make sure, as you know, English is not my first language. Therefore, sometimes the way I say things is confusing can be confusing because I might be using a different term for what you guys are normally used to. right? So I do need some people to test it out. And we do have, okay, already somebody, okay, who will do that so that you guys, when you join, okay, hopefully will not be super confused when it comes to, the directions. But I hope that you could join us for that. It's coming up at the end of the month. Okay, whatever that date is, it's just the last Saturday of, for you guys, anyways, the last Saturday of the LV Handcrafted's Crafty Fun with Friends live stream. Okay. So there you go. Because I really had just, an hour or so to prepare this. So I knew I was bound to make some mistakes, but it's okay because it's just the measurements. And it's a good thing that I didn't do it, I can still, not make it too small because that would have been a problem. But this one, you just need to make the mat a little bit bigger. So that's okay. Just need to cut, okay, several new mats like so. Why do I have more? Did I cut too much? Yeah, I think I did. All right. And then the last one. Okay, let me see again. And right? Even their clothes kind of match the papers I'm using. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, indeed, we're missing 2. Okay, ulit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We are missing 2. All right, so we need 2 more. Okay, so this is, oh my gulay. Don't worry, I still have a lot of photos. This is 2 1/4. So we need 2 pieces of 2 1/4. Okay, by 2 1/4 for the mat. Okay, so another 2 1/4. See, we're doing all of this from scratch. Right, so there you go. Okay, and then we need to choose some more photos. Okay, let me see. Let me go back to our photos. Okay. Some more photos. Oh, this is, Sam used to have, she likes having her hair color. Okay, that's nice. She likes her glasses. Okay, so this is her with me during, this is Sticker Con here in the Philippines. Okay, oh, she's so cute. Look at that. This is still that one. Oh, look at that. Look at her. In a Chinese dress. But I think this is my original, so I can't. How about this one? Okay, so let's do this one. Excuse me. Oh my. It's too big, but it's okay. Hold on, friends. I need to drink. All right. So that would be this one. It's too big. There you go. Okay, so that's one. Okay, one more photo of our dear birthday girl. How's that? This one's in, I think this is Thailand. Oh, Singapore. Oh, there you go. All right, so. And yes, one of the things that, Sammy likes doing is traveling. She likes to travel. She likes to try out new culture, new food. Are we done? Yeah, there you go. So I just hope that the world goes back to being safe, travel. Excuse me, sorry. Okay. She is so cool, right? All right. So maybe let's put that as the top, okay, photo. All right. Let's go back to the mechanism. Okay. So again, the first one, you don't put adhesive. The second one, okay, we are going to put our adhesive, and then you choose, okay, the panel, the square panel you have, and make sure that this one, okay, attaches, okay, this one at the top is flush to that one, okay, and then you just adhere like so. Okay, if you want, you can. There you go. Okay, and then what are you gonna do now? Then move down. Remember, we burnished it going down like so. Now, where did I put my score tool? Okay, there you go. Okay, and then, all right, now we move on to the next, okay, panel, so to speak. Okay, again, everything has to be aligned. You align not on the bottom, but on the top, the one with the circle, with a hole. Okay. All right, there you go. And then, okay. And then you move down again. So more or less, you know what you're going, it's just the same thing over and over and over again, right? And then you can even put, normally if it's photos, like that, what I do with when I do my scrapbook layouts, I sometimes put rub-ons on top of photos. Okay. Or, you know, put a little bit of journaling on top of the photo, either to put in the date or a little bit of a description of, you know, what was happening, why this photo is here. Okay, again, so the one with the photo or the focal point, whatever it is you want, if it's not a photo, maybe a sentiment, a pattern paper, has to be on top, okay? All right, and then pull down. Burnish. All right. Okay, then we move on to the next photo. I think this was her moving up day for kindergarten, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it grade 1? Not sure. You know, Sam went, I think most kids do, right? So they have this phase where they wanted to do everything. So, okay. So there you go. This is a more recent one. I think this was maybe 2-3 years ago. All right. There you go. So now it's easy, right? So I think the most difficult part in putting this together was the making of this mechanism. And but once that's done, the rest is just a matter of decorating and, you know, putting things, adhering things, you know, together. So this is a great way, say, to give, you know, something like this, kind of a memory keeping thing, at the same time gift. Especially these kinds of gifts, I normally give to friends or people I know who have, you know, it's so hard to give some people gifts, right? Because they have everything, or sometimes they're very like picky in terms of what kind of gift they want. And since I don't know what, so I normally would give something like this, right? A scrapbook album or a handmade card that can double up as a gift as well, right? So there. So there's no rhyme or reason in my putting the photos here, since it's not really telling a story about when she was young until she is right now. So none like that, because I didn't have the time to go through photos and or have some printed. Okay, so whatever I just was able to grab, that's what I did. All right, so still, it's a great way to celebrate, the person. This could even be like, doesn't have to be photos, maybe things that, the person like, right? So, all right. So we have 2 more panels left. And we are done. All right, so there you go. And where's my last photo? There you go. Now that is our mechanism. Okay, so how does it go more or less? So of course, this one we said it has to be folded like so. And then, of course, there's a mechanism here later. Okay, so if you can see, it's gonna go like that. Right? So you can even put like the details of each of the photo at the back instead of in front. Right? So there you go. So without the holder yet. Okay. Okay, but more or less, you know that it's working. It's flipping. All right. So it means that you have made your mechanism correctly. All right. There you go. Oh, there you go. Southeast. So I've been Southeast, but never Midwest. Yes. Yes, actually. Right. So my grocery delivery is almost here. Yay. Yes, no worries, Cordelia. Not even a hint. Yes. Yes, I also did, right? So, and the one who did that was Irene, right? Yes. How many steps in our MCA? Not saying. Thank you, Crystal. Yes, my family of 3. Exactly. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Ellen. I haven't been able to, be in the chat and watch. Actually, I've been super busy this week, but I know that you guys have been, this is Ellen, dear friends. So she goes live almost every day with dear Andrea. We fondly call her Drea, on the Happy Crafty Ho Ho, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Yes, the waterfall is awesome, right? Hello, Anna again. Yes, Anna is my cat and crafts. Okay, on Instagram. On YouTube, it's Anna, my cat and crafts. Yes. Thank you, Crystal. Yes, I would have wanted this to be, part the MCA this month. But then because we are going to be using this and a protractor, I said, maybe not. Let's just do it live. Right? So now let's go back to, our card panel. Not yet the whole thing. All right. So remember, this one, it's 8.5 by 8.5. It's big. Now, if you want to make it a little bit smaller, fine. I just want it to be this big because I want to showcase, photos. If it's gonna be smaller, then the photos would even be smaller, right? So let's take the topmost panel for now, and we will assemble that later. Oh, I forgot. I need brads. Yes, we need brads. Hold on. Brads. You know this, brads. I know you guys have a lot of this, in your stash, especially during the scrapbooking days, right? So what you're gonna do, remember we left this earlier on. We didn't put adhesive. Okay, this is the time that we are gonna put adhesive onto that. But before we do that, okay, first we need to again, okay, turn this, okay, wrong side up, okay, so that you can, okay, sorry about that. Okay, now create another set of diagonal lines. Okay, so from one end, okay, top right, top left, okay, to the lower right. Okay, so this one doesn't have, all right, I removed the lead from that one. Okay, let's do that again. All right, so let's do that again from there to here. Okay, because we need to get the center. All right, so there. All right, so we need to get that center. Okay, and then we need to, where is my poke tool? Okay. You know, when you're live, everything is missing. Okay. Okay, so let's just use our protractor. Okay, so where's the other one with the nicer hole? Yeah, I can't find stuff. Everything is missing. All right, anyways. Okay, so let's just grab this one. Okay, and poke it at the center like so. Okay, there you go. Just whatever you can. Okay, to poke a hole over there. Okay, so that you can actually put something over there. So let's put that aside first. The next thing that you're supposed to do is to cut this part. This part, though, I've already, okay, cut ahead of time. Hold on. Okay. Okay, there you go. So this one is, okay, going to be the mechanism that will hold this, waterfall of photos. Okay, so that you can, rotate. Okay, so this is actually, so I prefer or I suggest that you use the same pattern or solid as the one that's going to be immediately under the mechanism, this one, so that when you try to move it, it would disappear, right? It's like incognito. So it's like magic that the photos or this mechanism is actually moving, right? Because it's the same pattern. So even if it's there, you don't really see it that well, right? So it's like camouflage because it's part of the mechanism. So normally you would want this to be a little bit, strong and sturdy. So what I did was just to make sure I cut a strip of acetate. Okay, and then put it together like so, and then punched it so that there's a hole. And the reason for that is because you will be putting that there. So this was another part of, let's say, if I did this as an MCA, right? So it's like, okay, right? So the many instructions. Okay, how am I going to say that? How am I going to phrase that? Right? So in the end, I just really had to give up with this one and said, you know what, let's just do this live. It's easier and I can explain. Okay, so the original video that I saw of this one was again from Tanu Creations. It's a new YouTube channel that I found recently that is super amazing. They create amazing interactive, fun cards. So lately I've been following them. Okay, there's so many. How I wish I could, make my own, original fun fold, but sad to say, I'm not that creative, right? But I love doing it if somebody else would teach us or, give us an instruction on how, and I'll make my own take on it, right? So there you go. So now, okay, we have the holder. So the next thing that we're going to do is to grab this one and see, okay, where you want to place that. And this is the center, right? So if that is the center, okay, so you do want to arrange this one, not like that, not like this. So make sure that this circular thing, okay, more or less is, okay, you have even, okay, more or less an even, what do you call this? So if you want, you can even kind of trace it and then just remove it later if you want, so that you have an idea of, where that one is. Okay, and then you can now, okay, more or less you can see that. Okay, and then you will put it there later. But first, okay, so let's turn this upside down. Okay. And then you see this is where it ended, right? Okay, so where's the center? Okay, so it did like that, right? So the center, more or less, if it's, let's remove this one first so you can see. Okay, so if that is going to be the center, you want it to be not over there. All right, so you want it to be in the center. And then this one, kind of there, angled where it ended. Okay, and then it will traverse this part. Okay, so now you put adhesive on that part, more or less. Okay, and then this part. Okay, so more or less. Okay, you can do that. Okay, so more or less here. Okay, so if you want to put, a liquid adhesive, double-sided tape, it is really up to you. Okay, so it's gonna kind of look like that. Okay, so let's see first before we actually attach it with the brad. Okay, so it's gonna go like that. See, that is gonna be your holder. Okay, so I think it's best if we put a double-sided because the liquid adhesive will take a while for it to dry up. And since we want to, continuously test this thing out, so let's put double-sided adhesive. Okay. Ching! All right, middle. Okay, more or less middle. Middle. Okay, has to be as even as you can. All right, and then where is the center of this one? Okay, and then now we will just attach, okay, our rad in the middle. Okay, so let's choose the pink one. Or do I want a bigger brad? Do I pick a brown one, a white one, a black one, a red one? So hard to choose. Okay, what color? All right. Okay, so if you do have a question or if you want to rewatch this again, okay, I will try eventually to find a way to put in like what do you call that? Like chapters or something so that it can help you find your way back into the video. Okay, I think this one's too big, so we have to get a smaller one. Okay, so maybe this pink. All right, there you go. That went in super fast. Okay, and then we will just attach to the middle. Okay, remember we created that. Okay, so the purpose of that is so that, okay, we have this. Okay, and then just open the legs. Okay, and then now it can go like that. Okay, but first you have to lock this in. Whoops. All right, something's wrong with my camera. There you go. Hi, camera. What is wrong with my camera? Hello, hello, camera. Okay, let me see. Let me figure this out, friends. HubSpot is okay. I'm opening the HubSpot thingy. Come on, focus. There you go. Focus, 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 focus. All right, there you go. We'll just have to attach this part. Then once we have, then it's gonna flow like so. All right. So once you're happy with the location, do you want it this way, that way, wherever you want to start that photo with, right? So, okay, then you just now simply, okay, attach that. Okay, flip. Okay, and then hold on to that for a while. Okay, till it adheres completely. Okay, and then now you can move it. Isn't that super cool? Right? So while we're waiting for that to dry up, okay, and get adhered, okay, we can move on to, putting this so that we don't see that brad at the back. Okay, so you can put this together. So just put adhesive onto the sides. If you want it to be a little raised, then you can, absolutely do that. So for this one, let's put a double-sided adhesive. Yes, a way to use my brads. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Ellen. I'll definitely go back to watching and hopefully I can join you as well, Andrea, in, one of the many days that both of you actually go live. Right next week. Yes, this would be a good idea for my mom. I would have everyone take a picture. There are 15. Oh, perfect. And then the 16th or maybe the first one would be like the title, right? For that. I think you can even tweak this to make it even bigger if you want to have, bigger photos. But it's nice thing that, it's not too big though, because if you want, this one can be carried or, it can also be put in a shadow box, right? So there's so many different ways to use this. Okay, but then if you put a shadow box, make sure that it's doesn't have a glass cover so they can still play with the, with the waterfall mechanism. Like so. All right, so we're going to hopefully make sure that before, I don't want to do a paper surgery with this one. Lala, make sure you got this. More or less. It's not too even, but it's okay. It's okay. I will not do paper surgery on this, friends. Nope, nope, nope. There you go. All right, so let's do another one like that. I find that if it's heavy like this, I want to make sure. Okay, so I use a double-sided adhesive. Okay, especially if I'm live because it takes a while for the adhesive to dry off often. And then we start flipping, and then, it's going to get detached. So for now, we're going to do that. And we have to finish off, the handle of our mechanism because you see, it's still sticking out like that. We're going to do something about that in a bit. Hold on. All right. Okay. We have a brand bed. Do you think you would put a thin cardboard inside to carry the weight for lots of movement? Oh, Ellen, what I did was I actually put an acetate, a strip of acetate, because I know that since this is gonna be so normally if it's a moving part, I always put an acetate. So in between this paper is actually acetate. So definitely it will not tear, okay, or it will not get broken. Okay. So there you go. But that's great advice, Ellen. Right? So in my case, rather than a cardboard, I normally prefer using acetate, as definitely you cannot tear that, right? Because sometimes cardboard also after a while, after moving several times back and forth, back and forth, it becomes also kind of soft, right, and time. So the thing I like about acetate is that it will retain its shape and strength no matter what. All right, and finally, the last one. Okay, again, I just wanted layers and layers and layers. Okay, but if you don't want those, you can easily, just do a single mat and you're good to go. I just wanted to make sure that mechanism, that Brad is absolutely a gunner. You will not be able to see it. There you go. And then you will have, since this is too big, right, I had to attach. Okay, so that at the back, you don't see any. Okay, because this one, anyway, you're going to cover it up. So you won't see that I actually, okay, this is an A4. Okay, so I scored onto the 8.5, and then I just added another 8.5 by 8.5 at the back. Okay, and then stick it together. And since I'm going to be putting this panel on top, then you will not be able to see that there has been an attachment there. Because this is big, right? So I'll just make sure that it goes after the score line. There you go. Okay, and now what we're just gonna do, okay, ching. Again, on those flaps, okay, the back, you can actually, say something about, oh, I remember this, blah, 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 right? So you can, make what do you call this, description of what this was for, what happened here, like that. Okay. Oh, what happened here? Something got stuck. Okay. Something got stuck. All right, there you go. Okay. Okay, there you go. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, and then we will, cut this part. Okay, since this has acetate, it's really hard. And then I have, okay, so what I can do there, what I normally would do there is I'll put an ephemera or something. Oh. Did you see that? I cut the edges of my... Paper surgery! Oh my goodness. Because I wanted it to be even, I cut the other parts of this one. Hold on. I have to do something about this. You know what? Doesn't matter. It's okay. Sorry, Sammy. That thing kinda ripped it. Okay, let me see. Okay, I want something to put here. Did you see that? Did you see how I cut this one and this one? Where actually are the papers? It like kind of flew. It's okay. I'll do something about that later. Look at that. Oh, it's okay. Okay. Actually, you know what? Since it's already cut, might as well I will cut it. Okay, nobody will tell. Nobody could tell anyways. All right, so let me now get some. Okay, so what can I put here? Okay, so it's easy to hold it. Okay, now it's just a matter of decorating, but we actually have finished, creating our waterfall album like so. Okay, so there. Let me see. This one it's not stuck enough, so it's okay. So we have to adhere this one first. Hold on. So that it will not go up when we twist it like so. Or this one too. Okay. All right. We will just make sure, okay, that everything is there. You go. Okay. Now let me see. How do we finish our cover? Okay, how do we finish decorating this album? Okay, let me see first what we have here. Okay, first that one, that mechanism. I need to find something, okay, for that. Okay, so these are some of the things that I just kind of picked up over here in front of me. So let's see what we have here. Okay, that we can use to decorate, Sam's album. It's 11. We started at 9. We've been here for 2 hours already. Oh, there. Okay, I think maybe, yeah, this camera. Right? So that camera can be a great holder for that one. Right? So for our... Okay, so I will remove that. Okay. And this will be a great holder for our, okay, handle. Okay, so for our handle, okay, so let's kind of use, okay, there you go. Double-sided adhesive so that it's stronger, and then add a little bit of liquid glue as well. So let's double it up. Okay. So that it's really going to stickaroo. There you go. Right? There you go. Okay. All right. So now we will decorate. But first, let me check. Oh, Vicky is here. Thank you, Ellen. Yes, this is for my moderator daughter in the chat. Yes, right. So for milestones, right? So, Ellen was like, oh no, did you see that? It was like, that would be nice, right? I would cut this and then I'll go, slow motion. Yes, a flower. Thank you, Teresa. Oh, yes, go ahead. Change it also if you want. You can probably, make it a little bit smaller. I was thinking maybe a 6x6. Hi, Gretchen. Thank you so much, my friend. Yes, this is for my baby. No longer a baby, right? So look at her. Look at her, right? So over the years, she is now, oh, look at that, how cute she was, right? So it's like, yes, it's just, so nice to go over, the photos and see how she is and how she has grown to be such a very, very beautiful young lady. There you go. Right? So, ching. All right. And then my plan to, oh, there's the one. Oh, there. You know what? Let me see. What can, if I put a double-sided, oh, I know. Ha! I know what to do, friends. Ha! I already know what to do. Let me just grab me some of those extra bits of squares that we had earlier on. Come here, over here. Where are you? Okay, I will just get one of those. Okay. No, no, no. It has to be as big as that one. Okay, so. Okay, I will cover that up. Okay, let me see. I know I still have extras. Okay, or maybe I could do like that. But why is this different color? Right? So that now. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. All right, so if I do something like that. There you go. Now you can't see it. Woot woot. All right, paper surgery. Paper surgery. I don't have a PhD in paper surgery for nothing, right? So there you go. We got this. We got this. There you go. All right, now careful, Lala. Careful when you cut this. Okay, that you don't cut the others. There you go. There you go, my friends. Can you see? No more. It's a full, square already. All right, so there you go. Disaster averted. Ta-da! All right. Okay. Okay, now let's start decorating. Let us start decorating. Okay, let us start decorating. Okay. Okay, let me see. I know that. Okay, let me see. Just go through some of the things in here. As I said, I just grab whatever it is around town. Oh, she loves coffee. We go and away we go. She also loves traveling. So this could actually be ready, set, go. Passionately curious. This makes me happy. Get out and explore. Okay, let me see. So yeah, so far I'm just choosing things that, I feel. This came from Vicky Boutin, right? So let's go check out what else is in here. All right, so count the memories, not the calories. Oh, this is for me. I want this. This goes okay with me. Travel is my therapy. Okay, you are here. Everyday explorer. Oh, that's nice. Passenger. Happiness comes in waves. Vacation mode. She's graduating soon. Sometimes all you need is a weekend and a good idea. Fun times. I'm in love. Lost in paradise. So far, none anymore from this one. All right, so let me see how we can navigate through this. All right, so I would love to put like a more mixed media effect on this one, but then again, that would take a little bit of a time, but that would be really nice because she loves those kinds of things. Nowadays, that's, what she goes for. Look at that. That is so cool. Okay, I'm just looking for whatever I can find here. Okay, and then of course we should have like something of a happy birthday, right? I do have a lot of those. I know where it is. Okay, I know where it is. Okay, so first let's start with this one. Okay, so it's just a matter of working with what we have over here. Okay. Ready, set, go. But it's nice if it goes like this because it's like, wanting it to go over there. Maybe something like that would be nice. All right. I think I like that. Okay, I think I like that too. Yes, because she wants to travel the world alone soon. Yes, she has been traveling a lot with me and his brother over the years, but she's at that age where she also finally wants to travel on her own. So let's just do that. Let's make this one flat first. All right, so let's put all of this as a flat. Okay, one first. Okay, so let's kind of do that over like that. There you go. Okay. Okay, and that one we will. Okay. Hold on, I'm trying to look for my tiny attacher. Okay. Tiny attacher found. All right, so let's do it like so. Okay. There you go. Okay, so something like that. So this one goes at the bottom. Okay, so I normally don't really attach it like completely. So if I want to stick some stuff onto the sides or something like that, I can still do. All right, so okay, let's put foam tape over there. If only I can find where they are. I do have a roll, but I can't find it. That's the story of today's. Everything is missing. Everything is a missing. All right. All right, there you go. But first, coffee. Yes, because she loves coffee. There you go. Okay, not staycation. And she is indeed an everyday explorer. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I think... Oh, this one fits perfectly with that one. Right? And then there's the camera. Good job. Yes, let's do that. Let's put that over there. All right, and then we'll put like the big happy birthday on this side. My everyday explorer daughter. Ooh, love it. Okay. So hold on. Let me see. What else do I have here in whatever I have in front of me? What else is here? Let's just figure out based on what I have here, which I have used in, the past couple of days. Okay. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't work. Doesn't match. What else? Okay, so maybe just a happy birthday. Okay, so yeah, maybe we'll tear this. Okay, we'll figure this out. Okay. Okay. Mm, yeah, like that. There you go. Oh, what happened? There you go. Okay. Ching. Okay, and I'll probably put a pocket here and with a happy birthday kind of thingy over there. So this is definitely not yet done. Okay, but I think that is okay. You know what? Last. Okay, let me just go through that pile of sentiments over there. Hold on. I do know. Okay, she's a cat mom. You know, she loves cats. Okay, maybe some, best coffee and then a happy birthday that goes around like around it. Would have been nicer if it's kind of like that. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Let me just remove everything that's on top of my desk because I could barely move. Everything is. It's just so many stuff here. Dreams don't work unless you do. Yeah, but it's her birthday, so let's not try to. Is that birthday? What else? What kind of birthday greeting is this? Oh, this is the only one that's left over here. Okay. Let me see. What does it say? Birthday. Okay. So we can layer that. Birthday. Where's the happy? Okay. So we can do happy. Happy birthday. Okay, so when we open it up like so, I'm going to put the happy birthday there, and I'll probably have maybe something. She also likes to write and she loves books. So maybe we can have something like that. All right, I love that. I love this. All right, so I love these things. All right, so and then we will be able to put the happy birthday kind of message over there. And then the date, right? I won't show the date just yet, but I think, yeah, that's nice. Okay, and if only I can find the other pair of scissors. Okay, there you go. I think I like that. All right, so let's put the happy birthday. Okay, let's do this one first. Okay, so let's attach this first. Okay. Oh. So that we'll have a little bit of a depth onto the message. Okay, there you go. Mm, okay. And then let's put it on to another birthday die cut. I did a lot of birthday die cuts for, Okay, so let's just, anyway, this is kind of a thicker cardstock. I think this is 300 GSM, the one I used to cut this sentiment, so that, okay, 2 I think is enough for now. There you go. It's my funky daughter. Time really flies by so fast, right? It's like, my goodness. I'm old. Right? I have a daughter who's graduating from university pretty soon. She's excited to actually, um, she does want to do further studies, but I told her to just gain some work experience first, and then after a while, then proceed to. Oh no, this is birthday. It goes like that. Then she can proceed on, earning additional. Either take her masterals or whatever it is she wants. My the only request I had for both my kids is, whatever happens, the gift of, education for me. Anyway, that's for me, my friends. Is the best, that one of the best things I could give them, because that's something that no one can take away from them, right? So, money, material stuff, this can go in an instant, but your the value system that you have, your character, these are things that no one can take away from you. There you go. Cute. Cool. Okay, let me just stick that. Okay, I was trying to look for my double-sided adhesive, but I cannot find it as usual. All right, so okay, and then I'm gonna put stuff like that over there. All right, and then we're gonna put this one. So this is just a strip of paper. So look at this. It's very, what do you call that? Very basic colors. So normally you would think that, and this is kind of a little bit of a vintage, it kind of feels, right? So it's okay. You can combine them. All right. So there is no right or wrong way in, doing these things. So I used to be scared about that. Like, is it okay? Does it make sense? Oh, it does not matter. As long as it makes sense to you, and that's what matters, right? So this is your work. This is your art. So whatever resonates with you is, that's okay. Okay. So not doing any. I was going to try and, but then again, that's gonna take a while to. The thing is, when do you stop? When do you know when you need to stop? That's also my problem, so don't ask me. Don't ask me. All right, so we got to put a little bit of, a cat here somewhere because she does love cats more than dogs. her cat is okay. Let me see. Let's look for a cat that looks like her cat. I think that's the closest. Yeah. All right. All right. So maybe there, beside the everyday explorer. Oh, is this an? Oh, is this a sticker? Is it? Oh no, I fussy cut this. All right. There you go. There you go. Your cat represented, Sammy. All right. So I think that is our project for today. A circular waterfall card. Okay. Normally the waterfall cards that you see often are, the ones that are can like if when you pull it, it's gonna go like that, right? It's gonna flip just like what you can see here, but this one is in a circular form, right? So there you go. That is our circular waterfall key card. So that's it for today. All right. So I hope that you have had fun, going through the process as well. Okay. So let me just go back to the chat before we end. Thank you, Vicky, for dropping by. Bye, Vicky. And of course, hello, Wims. This is Whimsical Thoughts. Hi, Gina. How are you, my friend? I hope all is well. And created by Laura Lee. Hi, Laura Lee. The only thing I've ever seen come close to this is Karen Berniston die. But this is so unique. Yes, right? So the one who actually did this is Tanu Creative. I've actually put a link in the description of this video if you want to see, the original. Okay, because she is, for me anyway, I don't know. I actually think there are others, but most of them are shorts. Okay, she is the one, that, showed this. Okay, and basically I just adopted it and changed some of the stuff a little bit. Right? So congratulations to Sammy on her graduation. Yes, just a few more months, right? So few more months. Yes. Thank you so much, Crystal. Bye, Cordelia. Thank you so much again, dear friends, for dropping by. I actually have two of this. You know how it is. It's gone. I cannot find it. So anyway, while you're still here, my dear friends, please don't forget to, yes, hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. And if you want more things like this, right? Interactive cards or other different kinds of cards. I also do different kinds of crafty stuff here in the channel. I do journaling, I do DIY, upcycling, all the stuff, all the things. All right. So with that, thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day, the weekend, right? So have some time with family and have a great crafty weekend as well. See you on the next one. Bye.